I'm going to take a seat because you guys are going to hear a lot about technology today. But right now, I'm Uncle Charles. I'm going to tell you a story. Because we build technology, we're technologists. We build technologies for the cool factor, basically. But we really build technology to enable people to do their jobs better. And last year at Amplify, and Alex talked about this earlier, we talked about technology, our services, and the things that are really cool. But I think this year we want to start off with personification of what that means. So I have an alter ego, something like that. Her name is Eve. Now, for those of you who have a background in psychology, don't look into this too much. But I just want to envision Eve. Eve is a regular person, right? So Eve is an executive. She's married. She lives in New York. She's got a couple of kids, daughters. And she's married to this guy, a stunt man. Now, clearly, I think every woman here knows he married up, rather, right? He's kind of goofy, but it's fine. So, to continue the story and getting you a visualization of what she is, my alter ego, she's also, and I can't read my screen now, so she lives in upstate New York. She commutes on the train 4 times a week. And she has one of the best lines that I've heard in a while. Once you're been rolled over by the technology or the innovation, if you're not part of the steamroller, then you're part of the road. Which is another way to say if you're not being a disruptor, you're going to get disrupted, right? It's a longer way to say that. Moving on, let's the professional. Eve's a professional woman. She works for the best company in the world, right? Everyone cheer. Yes, we work for NBC. She supports a global organization. She has a global team, and she travels to that team. I want her job, though, because I think that was a private jet that flew by. So where's Michael? I can ask him about that, or Eric, or and like most of us here, she's got a personal phone, she's got a personal tablet, she's got a personal work laptop, and she's got a work phone. So she needs information access all the time in multiple devices, some that the company owns, some that she owns. So it's important for her to be flexible and access to information that needs to be flexible. Now, as far as some fun facts, because we're people here, she loves boats, but she hates the ocean. She loves French poetry, but she's never been to France, even though she's traveled internationally. It's just a waste of travel, I guess. But now that we know who Eve is, let's go through her day. She gets up in the morning like you and I. The first thing she does is check her phone. I guarantee you, most of us, if not all of us, do this. She checks her phone. She sees there's an email from her CFO about a meeting. There's another meeting invite in there about, from John, or Tom rather, about something cryptic, but she's sure about the bill last night that she did for him, or her team did for him. She checks her Slack channel, she saw an alert on that, and what do you know? Of course, it was a problem. Because through the integration with Jira, with Slack, she's able to see that, crap, the build actually failed. This is real. Again, I'm not trying to sell a product, I'm just trying to tell you a story. So now, like me, she doesn't want to have that be the first thing as she gets out of bed, right? So of course, she's going to flip to her other channel. She's got a cocktail party Friday. She's going to focus that on and go to her happy place around martinis. And just right on cue, Mr. Married Up texts her, reminds her that he's filming today, so she's got to go get the kids from her sister's house, and guess what? That changes her whole day. So she's got to get a lot of work done in a short amount of time because now her day is a little bit shorter. So she's got to be a lot more efficient with her day, effective with her time. So let's fast forward. She's on the train now. And on the train, she goes to a WebEx conference, meets her CFO, ends up not being that big of a deal. She's pretty sure she can handle that. But the failed build is bothering her. She opens up her Dropbox and remembers that there is the business requirements, the PowerPoint. She delivers that into her Slack channel to her team to say, hey, did we build exactly what this was? So did we change these business requirements into the right user story and just have her team check it. So she just hands it off to her team, and she's on the train. So she puts it into the Slack channel and moves on. The CFO, it's not a really big problem, but she needs a secure place to share information. There's a project coming up, and she really wants to share data, but needs to make sure it's secure. So what does she do? That is Eve. She's already online. She's already VPN to our network. So she goes to our SharePoint solution site, and she creates a SharePoint site with our self-service capabilities. Very simple. She answers a few questions. Bada bing, bada boom. The site's available. She assigns the rights to one of the CFO's admins. Crisis averted. Of course, her husband, this guy's a pain in the butt sometimes, but it's funny because she likes seeing videos of him being thrown out a window, so she saved that to her personal Dropbox. So now she's thinking, all right, I'm good. But as you know, in the effective world of efficiency, she's not. So of course, her boss now needs to talk to her. And her boss wants her help with a keynote speech or a presentation, like I'm doing now. But she doesn't know what she exactly wants. So they go back and forth and on Jabber, and she has some ideas, but she doesn't understand what's going on. So, okay, look, screw this. Let's just get on a WebEx, and we'll just talk through it. Show me what you want to do, and I'll help you. So, of course, that's what she does. She spends the rest of her time, train ride in, helping her boss do that. Again, just take a pause here. I'm not trying to sell products. I'm trying to sell a story. Eve needs to do all these things because the way her team, the way her business, the way her husband, the way her life is, she needs effective technologies to help her connect. So that's why Eve, and you might see she's using different technologies, and it's okay because Eve is used to that. This is her Monday for her. So let's get Eve's, now she's in the work, and thanks to a coffee shop that will go unnamed, Starbucks, she is late to her meeting with Tom by 5 minutes, and Tom's a little bit irate because the bill did fail. But she entrusts in Tom that her team will take care of this. They are used to dealing with problems. Problems happen. We as technologists have to realize that problems are going to happen. How do you respond to the problem is more important sometimes anyway than trying to prevent all the problems. You can't prevent problems, you have to deal with them. She assures him that they would deal with the problem. She's done all this now, it's only 10 o'clock. She's been more effective, realistically, before 10:30 than some people are in some places by 2 p.m. Again, compelling story because this is the stuff we do today. Eve is me, and it's probably most of you out here, that, at least for NBC employees, this is how you operate. So now the last thing we're going to talk about is her team. She's got a team offshore, she's got a team onshore, but she's got to have her weekly meeting. So she's got people everywhere. So she starts her conference bridge, Comcast, shout out to Comcast. They're here somewhere, there she is, Jess. So she starts her bridge, we all know the number, 224-225, we know the number, and she gets her meeting going. But no one's in her office with her. She's got, Colin is running around from 5 Times Square back to 30 Rock. So, but once he gets connected to the Wi-Fi, he's able to reconnect because that's how we've got synergies with our Wi-Fi. Ashish is tied up. He can't make it. Karen, well, you know, she's on the phone dealing with a keynote, but she's called in. Marianne is at her desk, so she calls in. Funny, she's the only one that likes to put her picture on her screen. It's kind of. And you got James, who's at the airport headed to India to talk with the remote team. This is her day. This is the connected workplace. This is an initiative that some of you may have heard me say last year. If you can be connected to the internet, you should be able to work. The connected meeting, connected workplace, digital workplace is all part of the same mantra initiative that we're driving toward at NBC. So this is how Eve's day starts, her Monday. What's going to happen for the rest of the week? So what I'd like to do now is talk about Eve's team that I kind of briefly talked about. She's got an international team. Eve couldn't do any of the things she did by herself. I didn't say Eve went and did this, or Eve looked at the code. I said Eve delegated to her team. Eve called her team. Because none of us do this by ourselves. Whether your team is local, whether it's onshore, offshore, nearshore, it doesn't matter. what's really important is that the people you work with, they empower you to get through the problems you have. They empower you to embrace the disruptive nature of business. So you have to have partners alongside of you that help you do that.